So for today's project, I've been thinking about taking these fog lights off that I put on last year. They're alright, but they're actually for a tractor. I just had them lying around. They seem to fit, so I put them on, but they kind of wiggle around. Not crazy about them. I've always wanted the little slim yellow ones that were a dealer option back in the day, but they're impossible to find, and if you find them, they're all rusted out, or they're just kind of crappy, and people are asking like $250 US for them. So I went ahead and bought some different ones. So I grabbed these lights off Amazon. They're actually steel, pretty nice, and I like the lenses because they kind of look like sealed beam lights even though they're LED. And I think they'll fit on the bumper pretty nicely. So let's do the install. So here's the wires and the brackets and hardware, but before we get into that, I'd say it's time for a beverage. Alright, we've got our Canadian Special Clamato beer. Fill it up. This is what I call the Beezer. Ah, delicious. But it's only 10:30 in the morning. Okay, unbolted it, and I'm gonna just snip it right about there. Someone may hate me for this later. All right, she's gone. All right, those are off. Time to set these up and mock them up, see how they're gonna fit. All right, I got the bracket on. There's the hole. I'm thinking it's going to be too close to the grill. And I am right. So I'm going to bring it up flush with the bumper so you can see it's about an inch or so ahead of the original hole, but the light will hide that. Didn't really want to drill new holes, but kind of committed now. So I'm going to mark that with a pencil. Do it on the other side and give her shit. Alright. Like a glove. Okay, I just got them sitting there. Let's zoom out a bit. What do you think? I think they look better than the old ones for sure. So I think I'll bolt them on and then do the wiring. Alright, I got the wires stripped. So I'm thinking this time maybe I'll put some connectors on it so I can just unplug it if I ever want to take them off again. Alright, I've got connectors, heat shrunk on, there's my power, I got my ground over here. I'm just wiring up in series. So this goes to the ground on the chassis, and then this plugs into the ground of this one, and this plugs into the power, just so I don't have to run any extra wires. That's how it was hooked up before and it was working. So I'm going to plug it in and we'll try to turn them on. Alright, well, they don't fucking work. Of course not. So I either got to check the switch or they don't like the way I have them wired. Alright, they're wired in, they're working, the switch works. They just didn't like being wired in series, so I had to give each one its own power and ground. But they're super bright. I like them. Now to bolt them on tight, adjust, and hide all my wiring. Alright, here's the finished product. Very bright. Let's flick them off.